All right. So, yeah, that doesn't look very good. I got some work to do on it. Let's see here. Welcome, everybody, to Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon Live. Let me know that you can hear me, that all is good. And as you can see behind me, I'm trying to spice things up a little bit. I've got a lot of things that I have to get done in this space. So that's why I was a minute or two late getting on. I was putting the finishing touches on the background. Good. So you can hear me. Ray, thank you very much for investing in the best boat captain or pontoon captain on the water. That program, I saw we had several orders come in. A couple of people didn't have access to it as they should have. So I think I got it all straight. One of the person, it's for some reason I'm having issues with the thank you, Robert. Having issues with the what am I having issues with? The Trailer Like a Pro and Tow Water Sports with Confidence, that getting added to the thing. So I've got some tech issues that I'm working on. But Ray, would love to hear your thoughts after you go through it, get a chance. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. And again, appreciate you making that investment. So Hux, I am going to. I was too busy getting this fantastic piece of work put together. Clearly, I've got some ironing to do and a little some details, but I think it adds a little something. I don't know. Well, tell me what you guys think of the background once we get it ironed out. And the one thing I can see is it's a little short. I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to move my curtain rod down a little bit. But anyway, all right. So the other day, Huck sent me an email and said, "Hey, I got all this stuff for." Let's see if I can find it all. I got all this stuff for my boat the other day, and I want to know if I got what I needed. So I figured I would start with that. I told him I would make a video. I told him I would respond on last week's live. I did not. I spent some time at the Greensboro Boat Show. Spent some time. Very festive. Good, good. That's what I'm going for. Just a little more excitement. My personality is pretty mellow, pretty laid back, and so at least the background can be a little more festive and exciting. But so here's what I'm gonna do if this works out. Is I'm going to open up the images that that Charlie sent me from Minnesota, and this day did not. I didn't get planned out exactly as I'd hoped to. So if anybody's got questions, throw them in. Anthony, I'm going to get to yours in just a second. I see it sitting there. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of Huxes. While I'm looking for that, I'm going to go to Anthony's questions. Going to the boat show this weekend, looking at the Four Winds HD8. Four Winds, a good builder. It's a middle. Yes, you can. A middle of the road. A middle of the road. A manufacturer. I'm sorry. I've got different thoughts running through my head here as I'm trying to do this. All right, come on, hurry up. and then get to bed.
Hi, peoples.
All right. We had a late. This is part of the reason why I'm off too. They spent the whole day at their friend's house, who's a freshman in high school, and her and her sister had a great time. They didn't want to come home. Late dinner, late showers, late getting to bed. So, good night.
Good night.
Love you. Go right to bed, okay?
Buy his stuff. I don't know what it is, but
That's sales girl already. That her and her sister both when they would bring the books home, they both wanted to for fundraisers for school. They both wanted to go out, hit the streets, and start selling them. My matter of fact, my youngest this year sold 20 books. She earned 4 free of those $20 coupon books that have local coupons for fast food, whatever. And so they're salespeople at heart. So, all right, Charlie, I can't find all your images. I'll try to get to it here as we get to the questions. But let me get to Anthony as he's waiting patiently there. All right, Four Winds HD8. Four Winds is a middle of the road manufacturer, a solid mid tier, maybe even mid to upper tier manufacturer. They do a nice job. I have not personally inspected the HD8. They haven't been at any of the boat shows. I've been to Charleston. I've been to Charlotte. I was at Greensboro this weekend. I'm going to Knoxville, Tennessee on Thursday. Spend Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday. And then Sunday, I've got a daddy-daughter day. Going to check out some cheer competitions. My daughter that you just met is big into cheer. Four Winds HD8. So on Sunday, I've got to be back for that. But let's take a look, and if there's anything that I noticed on the HD8, 26.5-foot, 8.5-foot beam, 8.5 beam. That's interesting. That it's an inch shorter or an inch narrower than most boats at that size. Not a huge deal, but it impacts that interior space slightly. Maybe that's a misprint. 70 gallons, you're fine. Anthony, tell me where you do your boating. Are you on a lake? Are you on the coast? A big lake, little lake? Tell me a little bit about the conditions, and I'll just point out some things that I look at when I'm inspecting boats, and things that I look at when I am inspecting online. So if I'm watching a video, words and language that I'll notice and take notice of. So we'll scroll through the pictures. That's probably the best way to do this. And you guys, I see you can't see anything on my screen yet. All right, let's do this. All right, let's give you the big screen of, let's see here. All right, so you've got a nice as long as you like the layout. Okay, so New Jersey. All right, Anthony. So where are you looking to store the boat? Are you keeping it on a trailer to a big boat, but it's easily trailered with a 2500 F250 kind of truck? Are you dry storing it? Are you keeping it in the water? Tell me a little bit about that, and then what's your perfect day on the water look like? Tell me a little bit about that just in the chat. So as I look, I love this flip-flop seat. I assume it flops in, gives you a big area to hang out the back for a sandbar if that's the kind of thing that you enjoy doing. I like that single tier swim platform. It looks nice and big. Again, I haven't inspected this boat. The kind of the deck boat layout, the nice wide bow, which you've got, I'm sure, an anchor locker in here, a nice big area to step off of. It's a pretty sharp looking boat. Is that the same boat? That looks like it just looks like this one's got a pointier bow, but maybe it's just the angle in that in the windlass hanging off. So are you getting it with the tower or without? If you're And that goes to, are you going to be surf or wakeboarding? Are you going to be skiing? Are you going to be tubing? Do you just like the looks of it? Because if you are, great. If you're not going to be doing any of that stuff, this tower, and you're gonna dry stack it in a marina, cruising, tubing, anchoring. Okay, so when you say in a marina, is that a wet slip, Anthony, or is that a dry stack marina? Because what I'm going to say will vary depending on if it's in the water or if they're picking up with a forklift and putting it away. Um, so let me know there which way. Because if you're in a dry stack, something to think about if you're going into a dry stack or even just trailering, tower skiing, wet slip. Okay. So it's not as big a deal or it's not a deal at all on a wet slip. If you're in a dry stack storage, though, you've got to put this down every time for them to put it in the rack. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it looks great. So if you're in the wet slip, not a big deal. Anthony, I've said this in multiple videos. I personally am not a huge fan of putting stern drives in saltwater. If you do it, if it's the Volvo, okay. Just, you've got to take care of your maintenance and be really, really diligent about your maintenance. I'm not familiar with, let me see here. New Jersey. Let's take a look at, okay, up by Tom's River. Okay, I've been up there. Okay, so you've got saltwater to contend with, skiing in a wet slip. That's so you're probably ask around the marina in your area if you're going to need to paint the bottom. Something to consider. As far as the boat itself, you're okay. The one thing I would say is I don't know if they have a separate outboard version, but I would consider an outboard. I would strongly lean towards an outboard unless you absolutely love that clean transom. It gives you easier access to the water. Um, okay, that's kind of a narrow little. Okay, all right, it will be an outboard. Perfect, perfect. Um, okay, so that's good. Tower, you're good. You're in a wet slip. Um, that all looks nice. Toggle switches with the lights on them. The wind dam. Let me see how that head compartment looks as it opens up. That looks like it's going to be it's an issue that this is a similar setup to the Cobalt that I run with my in-laws, is that bolster looks like it's going to have to be flipped up to get access to the head. And then this is about at the height where you're going to stub your toes. If you can see me, let me go full screen, Anthony, so that you can see me well. And maybe even let me zoom in here. So if you look here, that's just at the right height potentially. So check it, that a toe can get caught up under that. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to flip that up, depending on how much you use that compartment. If you use that as a head, or if you use it as just storage compartment, which a lot of people do. It's a little thing. I wouldn't let that sway you one way or another. If you really like this boat, nice gas assist. It's got the nice gasket around the ski locker, which means one, it's not going to rattle, and two, it's going to do a better job at keeping water out. Now, it's not going to be watertight, but it'll do a better job of keeping water from collecting in there. They've got a Ronix board in there, so it's nice and wide. Um, Good storage, a nice gas assist. That looks to be a pretty solid assist. Those on cheap boats, that's something that goes out within a couple of years. They use too small of a gas assist for the weight of the seat. It also looks like it's got a full length hinge there, which is going to be nice and sturdy. It's what I would expect from them. Yeah, this layout is nearly identical to the Cobalt, the 20. It's the R5 2019 that my father-in-law and mother-in-law have, and it's a great setup. It's a really nice setup just for cruising and hanging out, and yeah, I think for that mid tier, mid to higher tier, I think, Anthony, that you're on the right path for what you're saying. Then it's just a matter of, hey, making sure that you get the best deal possible on it. You get all the options that you want, that you get it powered the way that you want it to. So um, lean on the Four Winds people, especially if there's a Four Winds rep at the boat show. Hey, what horsepower do you typically deliver these on? What are people getting so that you're not underpowering it, especially a boat that size? Um, yeah, but that's a good looking boat. There's nothing I see in the layout and the design that really jumps out at me and says, "Ooh, I don't care for that." The head compartment, like I said, I know that from experience with the Cobalt that had nearly the identical, other than the R5's got the narrow pointy bow, but the back third is nearly identical. Four Winds is a good boat, and just make sure that you get the right power on it, and ask this of several people about painting your bottom, up there in New Jersey, up by Tom's River. It's, you don't want to get growth on the bottom, and what the bottom paint does is the growth attaches to that, and then it sort of peels off like a bar of soap. Just every time you're out running, the more you run it, just the little bit of that paint kind of peels off, and the growth goes with it. And figure this into your budget, but every 2 years, again, ask for the local knowledge. Every year to 2 years, you're going to have to put new bottom paint on. Maybe three in some areas, you can stretch it to three, but you'll want to ask about that, and also about barnacles, and do you have other critters that like to attach to surfaces, and then use the paint that they recommend and have it done by a good, reputable boatyard dealer service provider. So okay. All right. So Anthony, hopefully that is valuable. Looks like I missed some comments. John was chiming in. Suggest you do not exactly what I said. 300R. Okay, awesome. John, thanks for chiming in there and sharing some of your real world experience. And that exactly, underpowering it with the outboard is key, that you get the right power. Let me see what they have listed in the specs for the horsepower. Well, standard power options. There we go. All right, so it's standard with the Mercruiser 300, which is what John said he had. I bet this would put you in the price range. In Four Winds may not allow. Okay, yeah. So again, if the rep is there, I promise you that Four Winds has run this with multiple different outboard setups to get the right one, and take their advice. I can almost bet you $100 that they're going to say get the highest horsepower that they offer. It's probably not a sales pitch. Most salespeople are pretty good, and the reps tend to know because they're at the factory when they're running them, and they get the performance data. So usually they're really, really good about recommending the right level and saying, listen, you're going to be super happy with the 350. But you can also put the 400 or the 450 on it, and they're gonna help you dial that in, to the right level. Okay. So, all right. Thank you, John, for adding to the conversation and with your real world experience. And thank you for the question, Anthony. All right. So we'll go next. Charlie, or Hux, I'm gonna try to get to you. When we have a break in the conversation, I'm gonna try to get to your the pictures that you sent, because I haven't had a chance to respond. So, all right. And it's something that's happening. Just as a side note, is I'm starting to get a lot of emails and private messages from my contact page on the website of people asking specific questions about, hey, what do you think of this boat? What do you think of that? And I'm to the point where I don't have time to personally answer those and only do a one-to-one education. So what I'm telling them is, hey, come to the live. I'll answer it there for free, no questions, no problem. Watch any of my videos. If I have a video, I'll say, hey, watch this video. This will help answer it. Or if you invest in a program, if you support me financially, whether you're joined as a membership, whether you buy the First Time Boat Buyers Academy, Best Pontoon Captain on the Water, Best Boat Captain, then I'll be more apt to be able to give you that one-on-one. But even in Hux's case, he's been great. He's been very, very active, been on all the lives. I think hasn't invested in the programs because he has a twin engine jet boat and I don't have the right program there. But depending on the level of participation, gets my level of personal responses. So just and the busier it gets, the less I'm going to be able to do that, and the more we're going to have to do it here on the lives. Okay, so cane brake, bought a Blue Wave 180 Suzuki 90 last May, having trouble finding info on it, like prop recommendations. Blue Wave is they've been building boats for a long time. Here's what you're going to have to do. There's probably no performance data, although they've been a manufacturer for a long time. They're not in that, we'll call it super mass production level. And what I mean by that is they're not getting run unless they pay a large amount for Boat Test or for Boating Magazine to review them. And so they don't have that performance data. They're not big enough to hit that level of information out there. So what I'm going to recommend that you do is find the Silver Wave dealer in your area. If you don't, or Blue Wave, I'm sorry. If you don't have them, go to Silver Wave. They're the same. Silver Wave's their pontoon. Blue Wave is their center console bay boat lines. And they might have that data, or call the manufacturer directly, fill out a form on their site. They may have a recommendation for you. Or the next option is go to a dealer, a Suzuki dealer in your market area. Say, here's what I have. I've got an 18-foot V-bottom bay boat with a 90 Suzuki, and I want to get it propped. There are some propping tools that you may find as well. I don't know if in Suzuki prop info. Let's see. Okay, so this is from Suzuki Marine. So you can go through and you can look at their sizes, and they're saying, okay, now it's not a 2012. This is from their 2022 models, but you can see, okay, if you're running a stainless or an aluminum, this is what they're recommending on their 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Start there. Cane brake, start there, and it's a trial and error because the boat has an impact on it as well. The heavier the boat, the lighter the boat, the conditions that you run in, the weight that you put on the boat may impact which way you want to go. I would probably say, and I'm going to make some assumptions. Let me say this: the more likely you are to ding up your prop, the more likely I'm going to go with an aluminum. I probably would lean towards aluminum in most situations on that setup. Stainless is going to be it's going to be less slippage. It's going to be a better prop, but at the 90 horsepower, it's not the advantage isn't significant, and the price is less for the aluminum as well. And if you do get it dinged up, the aluminum's easier to replace and to rebuild. So hopefully, cane brake. Let's see. Hopefully that is helpful for you. But this is. Let me put this. There's the link for you that I just posted cane brake, so you have it. Okay, Anthony, John. Yes, I one of John, one of the things and Hux and I don't know if Brock is on or Robert was on the podcast. Ray has been an active member in these lives as well. I appreciate when I hear other people that have the experience to say, "Hey, here's something that is very very specific to them." I love it. It's something that I really enjoy that kind of came out of nowhere. I should say I didn't expect it. I didn't know that was going to happen when this all kind of started taking off, and it's pretty good. So maybe a 16 pinch all around for cruise for the Blue Way 180. Okay, perfect. So there again, John, if you're in the industry or just a longtime boater, it's awesome to have you folks that have different experience than me. In some cases, more experience than me, more knowledge than I have. I'm just a guy that said, "Hey, I'm going to start this," but there's people that know boats way better than I do that are out there in the world, and I love when they come and join the community and help out. So it's something that I really get. Yeah, trial and error, few prompts, just hope. Now, what you can do, cane brake, I don't know where you are, but one of the things that you can do is you can go to a dealer. Typically on the water is going to be where they'll do a trade in. They'll say, "Hey, listen, we know it's a trial and error thing. I'm not going to make you buy every one, but pay up front and then we can go ahead and just swap it out and do that with you." So I don't know if that helps. Um, don't know if that helps or not, but there are some that will do that. Now, for a $200 at the way most on that prop, it's not a huge sale for them to put a lot of time and effort. So some are like, nope, we can't do that. We don't do that. But if you find a good one like that, you probably have a pretty good service shop to do work with for the long haul. So 19 pitch now, hit the rev limiter, 6,300 pretty easily. Okay. So and yeah, it depends on the weights you're putting on. That will limit that a little bit. So make sure when you're testing that you test in similar conditions to the way you'll run the boat. So sometimes when people are testing props, they'll just have one person in the boat. But when they actually run, they've got six people in the boat, and that's just how they run the boat. But not all six people are going to come out when you're doing test runs to see if you propped it right. So keep a little cushion in depending on if you have more weight, less weight, whatever the situation is, and that might keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your head. So, um, awesome. Long time boater, variety of watercraft. That's another huge thing. Brock from Charleston, he was super helpful in having conversations about bass boats, which I know zero about, as well as some saltwater stuff that is I've done saltwater boating and I have some level of experience there, but not the same as some of you guys that are on the coast. Short video, Mercury engines that only the lower unit turns. Yeah, so this was that's the Merck's new 600. So Mercury 600 horsepower. So that rig has been making a run around the boat show circuit. So I have been it was at the Charlotte show, it was at the Greensboro show. It wasn't in Charleston. We'll see if it's in Knoxville this coming week. but the V12, and it has so one, I'm 6'2", and it dwarfs me. I mean, it is huge. It's huge. So all of this mounts stationary, and then it's got one, it has a transmission, so it has a first and a second and reverse, which is unique to the boating industry. And then it also has this bottom part down here. Let me go big so you can see that. This bottom part, come on, work with me here. What the heck? I don't know what it's doing, why it's not letting me. Come on, Mercury. All right, I guess that's the best I'm gonna be able to get it. But this silver part down here actually is the only part that steers. So the reason they did that is because this thing is so massive that when they're putting them on um, trips, quads, quints on these center consoles on these big offshore boats, they didn't have the room on the transom for the whole motor to steer because they were so big. So they designed it in a way that just that lower unit steers. Everything else stays stationary, and it's they had the inner workings of the gears and everything. I'm sure if I scrolled through, it would be amazing. I almost got a chance to run one when I was down at Ibex, but they were pretty booked up in their demos, and all the demos and the appointments I had down there. I didn't make it happen. I wish I would have, but it is just it's massive. Now here's Ray. Here is my opinion. I am of the opinion that in most things, technology and boating is I am not a first one to test a new technology. My belief is let somebody else work the bugs out because I promise you that as awesome as this motor is going to be in the long run, this first outing, this first wave of them is going to have some issues. I don't know what it is. They're not going to talk about it. It's they're going to have them sent back and they're going to fix it and they're going to dial it in. So the next iteration is going to be better. The next iteration is going to be better. So hey, I'll buy it in the second year, maybe the third year, but I'm not going to buy a new technology in the first year. Now they're coming on to their second year now. I don't know how many they're putting out there, but I think they're doing a pretty good number of them, and that's my own, and it's strictly an opinion. I have no inside knowledge of issues. I have no inside knowledge of them making significant changes to it. I tried to ask questions to the guy in the booth, but he was basically sending out the marketing messages that they had sent him on the road with. And so I didn't really wasn't able to get any inside details, and I don't have those type of connections at Mercury to get me those details. So, all right, want to buy our first boat this winter, Chicago, best to test drive. Wait until the season, they'll be all, yeah, it's okay. Steven, it's a difficult decision right now. So tell me a little bit about what you're getting, what you think is the right setup, and and then while you're putting that in, I'm going to give you my thoughts. I personally would not buy a boat unless it was an absolute positively steal of a deal without running it on the water. There's too many things that can come up that you can't identify by inspecting it on land and running it on a hose. It's not under load, which means that the motor's not having to work hard. You can't really put it in gear and get the RPMs up without potentially causing damage to the engine and other issues. You can't feel how it steers. You can't feel how it rides, or there's things loose. You don't have it in the water, so you can't see if water's getting in somewhere, and the boat's going to take on water. There's just so many things that you can't do without it on the water. So here's the challenge is right now there's just not that many boats out there and they're going quickly. So it is on one hand, I buy a boat and I get it and I take the risk that it's in good shape. If it's a dealer, a reputable dealer, and they put it in writing that they're going to let you run this boat in April or May, whenever the ice is out in your area, and they'll take care of anything significant if it comes up. Okay. If it's a private individual, they get their money, they're done, they're out. You are going to be very hard pressed to get them to stand behind anything. There's no recourse, and that's the reality of the situation. So, on the other hand, you wait and you be patient. Maybe the boat that you're looking for isn't out there. Um, let's see. Okay, so the positive side, Stephen, is you're looking for a style of boat that is common enough. You don't have it narrowed in where you're looking for a 40 to 42-foot cruiser with an aft cabin and diesels. That would be very difficult to find. But you're looking for a 20 some foot, or the VR, I don't know what, like, I think that's a 18, 19, for a 18 to 20-foot bow rider that's going to be in a price range that in Chicago area, maybe you have to go out 100, 200 miles. Maybe you have to go all the way to the Lake of the Ozarks to get it. Maybe you have to go all the way up into Michigan, some of the lakes up there, but you will be able to find that boat. And you may have to be patient to find the right one. I just think you limit your risk by doing that. And yeah, so yeah, buying from a dealer does limit the risk for sure. So, if you go to who's up there, like Skipper Buds, is up there. I don't know who the Bayliner dealer is up that way, but yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to limit risk when you buy from a reputable dealer in your area. And even buying from a reputable dealer 200 miles away, you're going to be okay. You don't have that same relationship that you do if you bought it from a local dealer, but I think you're going to be, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape there. Okay. And again, to me, it's too risky. Even a boat. I heard a story the other day of a boat that was less than a year old. Guy bought it, put it in the water, and the boat had overheated. They sucked up a plastic bag. Something happened with the impeller. They ran it on dry land. Whatever it was, that boat overheated. It was a year old, overheated, warped the cylinder, new engine. You're not gonna, or no, the other one was they didn't winterize it and water was flowing in and there was a crack in the block. There's just too many things that you're not gonna know to take the chance right now. I would rather you not get your boat until after Memorial Day and know you got a solid boat. That's my I'm if you can tell, don't buy the first model year of anything. I'm pretty risk averse when it comes to those types of things. Um, so that's my advice there. All right. Let's see here. Chicago, and the Chicago Boat Show is canceled this year. I was hoping to get there. I've got a cousin that lives in Grand Rapids. He lived in Chicago and moved to Grand Rapids when they had the family. They've got a little. He bought a little Bayliner Super Sport that for his son that's in high school now. Great little knockaround boat. So okay, all right. John fishing, non slipping lower. Okay. Perfect. I've run with two of my buddies, four different ones. Okay, that's back to the propping one. All right. Hey Ray, when I was at the Charlotte show, they had what was it? A Berkshire, 27-foot Berkshire with the 600 on it. Color matched. It was a kind of a light smoky gray with like a teal color. And it was a sharp looking boat. They had brought it and they were taking it down maybe to Miami because it would have been stop here, go on to Miami that next weekend. But you're going to start seeing those puppies you're going to start seeing them on pontoons. But it was a 27-footer. I don't know. I don't remember if it was a 10-foot beam or not. I think it might have still been an 8.5-foot beam, but they're coming to the worlds of pontoon. All right, I'm gonna let you guys, John and who was that? Cane Break. I'm gonna let you guys continue your conversation in the chat. So just keep on going. If something catches my eye, I might mention it, but all right, good. Yeah, definitely test drive it. In the First Time Boat Buyer Academy, I talk about how to do the demo. There's also a video on the channel on demoing a pontoon, how to do that. That was actually done on the Lake of the Ozarks when I was there on vacation and did that video. Very, very similar for the stern drive or for the bow rider. I'm not sure if you're looking stern drive or not, but that would be a valuable video. Cane Break, I don't know where you're located, but Tom from Family Marine, he's got a YouTube channel. He's got a really good video on props as well. And if you're in the Minneapolis area, he's one that does the prop trade thing. So, Brock, good to see you. Thank you for jumping in that conversation as well. And all right. All right. So let me get to, I'm going to go into my emails here and see if I can't find. Tools. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to my emails and get all of Hux's pictures that he sent. This is all the gear. So Hux bought a Yamaha twin engine. I forget if it was the 252. I think that might have been what it was. But and he said, "Hey, here's all the gear that I bought. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything?" So I've got the video. So I've got this video, must-have boat gear for your new boat 2020. I probably should update that one, and I may Hux's email may trigger me to get that done. So we'll start with safety stuff. So life jackets, good fitted life jackets for everybody that's going to be doing water sports, people that are going to be on the boat consistently. Just get a good fitted. I like the neoprene life jackets. Brand doesn't matter. He's got the air filled, probably hits the water and it automatically goes out. Great for if you're running the boat, especially in cold water. If you're running a boat with now Hux's jet boat is a nice deep boat, but if you're running a bass boat, a flats boat, a bay boat, a flat bottom aluminum fishing, a V bottom that's kind of tippy, I would always have one of these on or my vest, just because, especially if you're in the cold water, just do it. It's may not be the cool thing to do, but if something does happen, you're going to be glad that you did. And these are easy to use. They're comfortable. You barely even know you have them on. the Coast Guard throw cushion necessary, and then these orange ones, the over the shoulder, make you legal. So if your boat has a capacity of probably 10 or 12, have 12 or 13 life jackets on. If you do have any kids, I save my girls have moved up to the next size of life jackets, actually to adult size now. And but we save all of them and have them available if there's kids that are on the boat, because they not only have to be on the boat, but they have to be the right size. So I can't have an extra small. That's not going to count for me, because frankly, it's not going to hold me up, but it's also going to get a ticket. So you're on the right track there. You've got the whistle. I'm always a believer in just buy a $7 whistle or whatever it is. Get that on the boat. If your horn goes out, you're covered. It's not a big deal. So, there's more coming. There's more coming. So, all right. So that's the first image. All right. And then we've got, let's go to, oh, that's not going to work. Ah. All right. We'll come back to the tools. Then we'll go to, here we go. All right. So here you've got your dock lines. And I those look like fender whips there. Anchor chain, anchor line, good. Extra rope, maybe extra anchor line if you need it. Line there, paddle, good. The carabiners, I'm not sure what you're using those for. I like to use, I don't think I don't have any, but I like to use Velcro straps to keep my lines organized. It's great for this extra tow line if you need it. You've got a big yeah. I don't think you can ever have too much dock line or rope on your boat, because you're going to lose them. Somebody's going to snake them. You're going to tie up with somebody. You're going to forget them on their boat. You're going to come into a situation where you have to be a good Samaritan boater and tow somebody. I would rather have my equipment that I know is going to be in good shape. A secondary stern anchor with the chain. That's what the extra line is for. Perfect. Marine grade braided dock lines. Perfect. And then 2 extras. So you're good there. Okay. And then we've got, all right. So we've got first aid kit. We've got marine grade fire extinguisher. We've got an air horn as well as the whistle, so you're covered there. You've got a floating VHF radio. Make sure you keep that baby charged up. Some tape, a wet bag for keeping everything dry, whatever your paperwork is, and then a toolbox to kind of put everything in. Good. Then we've got tools, vice grips, crescent wrench, smaller vice grip, needle nose, snippers, pliers, good. Wrenches, sockets, good knife, screwdrivers. I can't tell what that is for sure. Flashlight. So yeah, those are the tools. Let's see here. Electrical tape, good. Yeah, I think that's a good, reasonable amount of tools to keep on the boat. Is you're probably not going to need anything, but those are going to get you through the 95% of the stuff that you do need. Even though it's a new boat, you just never know. The knife that I like, the knife I've got has some serrated edges to it. Just cutting through line, cutting through rope. The serrated kind of gives you the ability if you need to saw stuff. If you get something really big, but that's going to be a nice sharp knife. It looks like. Yeah, and John is exactly right. Is in on any federal waterways, you're required to wear your kill switch. So that's going to be on the boat. That's going to be on the boat side of things, and I would always leave it there. But when hook it to your life jacket, hook to your shorts, hook it to whatever. I usually hook it to my shorts. I do not hook it to my wrist. I don't want anything on my wrist as I'm driving. It's going to get in the way and it's going to cause me not to be able to handle the boat like I want to. But I'll hook it to my shorts or whatever. And I boat on Lake Loudon, which is it connects to the Gulf Coast, which makes it a federal waterway. So any river that connects to the Missouri River or the Mississippi River, or the coast is federal waterways, and I see that law probably being picked up by others as well. And then we have the fun stuff. Good good charger, tubes, good tow ropes, and on on that Yamaha, yeah, you're probably not going to need a harness. Their ski tow is going to be good, I think. Yeah, I'm going to say that you're all set on that. Um, all right, Jeffrey, you're right. I I still haven't tested it, but I've had enough people that are telling me box anchors are the way to go. Hux is in Minnesota, so he may be on some grassy bottoms. That would be if you have a hard time getting your anchor to stick. Um, um, if you're having issues getting that anchor to hold, one is you've got the anchor, you got the chain, you got the line. Um, you know, I'm usually going to put out 5 times the depth in the lakes that I run on. That's going to hold me almost always. 7 if you really need it. If you still aren't able to get it to stick or you're in tight enough quarters where putting 7 times the depth, if you're in 10 feet of water, 70 feet, you're going to swing too far. You're going to hit other boaters. The box anchor is something I'm hearing over and over and over that is working great. This summer I will be putting it to the test. I'll be going out on a weekday and I'll put a Danforth in, and I'll put a box anchor in, and I'll test it, put it in reverse, and see how they hold. Now I'm in muddy clay bottoms here in Tennessee. It's pretty good muddy bottoms, great for the Danforth, and but some of the grassier bottoms, some of the less sticky mud bottoms, that's what I'm hearing. So that box anchor, people are swearing by them. So I'm taking their words, and we'll test it. So all right. Good. Cane Break, I hope you got good value. Brock, John, thank you very much for sharing some insights and things, because I know there's a lot of back and forth. It's probably one of the most difficult things to get right, is to that propping situation, and and it's such a trial and error, especially if you buy a boat that is used and it's propped wrong when you get it and you're not sure where to start from. It can be very challenging. But yeah, I'm gonna say that Charlie, you're right on the mark where you want to be, with all of the gear that you have. Now, if you're my wife, the one thing that she would add to this, and I would tend to agree, is good boat bags. I'll show you. I happen to have. This is my wife's preferred boat bag, and it is Scout. So it's kind of I don't know, plasticky, Tyvek kind of material. It has a flat bottom on it, so even when it's empty, it sits open. It's kind of got a hard cardboard in there, which means that when you set it down, it's going to be sturdy. But she's bought I don't know how many of these, 4 or 5 of them. And we've got one for the pool. We've got one for the boat. They just stay loaded up with the stuff. I've confiscated this one for some of my videos, my first aid kit, the VHF radio, the handheld VHF radio, dock lines. There's all sorts of stuff in this one. The American flag and all sorts of other stuff. But I do like having good bags. It seems weird, but it's great to throw one for snacks, one for like the sunscreen and the extra towels. We roll our towels up and shove them in there. The girls' dry clothes, their covers up, the flip flops or whatever. And it's nice to have the boat bags. This boat bag has this stuff, this boat bag has that stuff, and this boat bag has that stuff. When you get to the launch ramp or ready to walk down to the dock, you just grab that bag and boom, you've got what you need. So dead on info, how to attach the kill switch. Thank you, John. Skyhook and sniper. I'm not sure what sniper finder is, or snipe finder, but the Skyhook is I think that's Mercruisers. Basically sit stationary when you engage the Skyhook. So anyway, Hux, I hope that's valuable. And you're right on the money with the stuff that you want. And I think anything koozies is something that we've got bags of koozies everywhere. Matter of fact, in the boat bag, there's always extra koozies, and for always have enough. You never run out. Sunscreen. I keep a knife. I just keep an extra knife in the boat bag. It's a big, huge one, big, huge pocket knife that I just is always in there. Bags, towels, coolers, sun protect. Yeah, that's all of my wife's influence. I'd be out there with the bare essentials, but my wife keeps me in check. So all right. So thank you for sending those images in. And Hux, if you don't mind, these are going to get turned into probably some sort of a video similar to what I just did, probably a little bit more organized and put together as I plan. So also, let's see, close those out. I think I got through all of them. So I've mentioned in past ones. Thank you, Hux. I appreciate that. It's been great to have you as part of the community, and I appreciate this is the second or third time you made a contribution, so I appreciate that for sure. The financial support that you guys give, buying the programs, donating, becoming a membership, and even just the value that you add, like John and Brock having that whole conversation that helped Kane break, something that we could have gone back and forth, but it would have been really frustrating for everybody else on the line, I think. But you guys provided tremendous value for him. And while I was jabbering on about all sorts of other stuff. So thank you guys for the financial contributions and the information contributions as well. But Boat Buyers Secret Weapon is the channel. I'm thinking about adjusting it to Boater's Secret Weapon. And I've been kind of messing around with some different logos too. So just want to get a sense for what you guys think of that. I may start it as a new channel, but I'm definitely going to change the website to it for technical reasons with the marketing. Facebook, for whatever reason, has frozen my Boat Buyers Secret Weapon URL, so I can't advertise there. As I'm looking to roll out the best boat captain on the water and the Boater Boot Camp, which if you guys haven't checked out Boater Boot Camp, it's live. But I'm looking to do something like this. I also think that Boater's secret weapon, uh, maybe that turns into a cool shirt or something like that. I don't know, but I like the American flag in it in some form or fashion, and that's just the so if you start seeing some things, Boater's secret weapon, it's just a small change. I don't know. It sounds good. Okay, thank you, Brock. So that might be coming down the line here in the next couple of weeks. It's just something that I wanted to was messing around, and if you guys have any preference on the anchor, I kind of like this one with the boat, but I thought that looked pretty cool. I also like the anchor. I think that looks sharp. I tried it with the flag. I don't know that it's I don't know. It was all right. But yeah, I've got somebody doing this this image for a bow rider, a pontoon, a center console, a cruiser, and an anchor, a steering wheel, a compass rose, and sort of doing some real art up for it. So this is me messing around last night on my laptop with my wife, kind of giving. I'm not skilled in graphic design, so I was just monkeying around, and so I finally said, you know what, I just need to hire somebody to do it, and so there you go. Is the Boater Boot Camp available on the Kajabi app? Like, yeah, it's on the Robert. It's on the exact same platform, and so if you sign up, it'll be when you log in to get it for where I don't know what you have the best boat captain I think, but the toolkit is on that same platform, so you should be able to view all of that stuff. And I had somebody say, oh, what is it? Oh, do you have the outboard version? I really like the stern drive version. There's an outboard and a stern drive on the first section, and they're on the same page. They're on the same login, because I was like, all right, the different things that people need to know with outboards and stern drives. I probably will add inboards at some point, but you've got inboard wakeboards, you've got inboard cruisers, so I've got to figure out how I want to do that. But Robert, email me at uh, captain at boatbuyerssecretweapon.com if you don't if you don't have access to it and you requested it. Just let me know and I can get you set up pretty easy. And I put it in the newsletter this past week. My marketing guy got mad at me. He said, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for people to come through. And we had a whole bunch of people that joined. I haven't heard from folks that it wasn't working. So I'm assuming everything was good, except for that question about, hey, where's the outboard stuff? Because I really like the stern drive. So, um, but keep a channel sub for boat buyer. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do is keep boat buyer's secret weapon, and then do boater's secret weapon, and just depending on what the content is, if it's for buyers or really, really early boaters, it'll be here. If it's for, hey, boat safety stuff, boat operation stuff, bags, what boat bags should you get? That will go on the boater's secret weapon. The website will be boater's secret weapon, and then there'll be buyer section. And so that, yeah, Hux, I think I really, really like this one. The anchor, I thought the anchor was cool. But I really liked this layout. So anyway, be on the lookout, and trailer want my wife to watch the boot camp. Yeah. So let me know, Robert, if you don't have it, just shoot me an email and I will make sure you get access to it. All right. So somehow we're over an hour again. These things just keep going by so fast, and the conversation goes in all sorts of different ways. I'm gonna have to, John. I'm gonna have to check out that fast lane. I'm not familiar with that, but I'll have to check out to see um, how other folks are doing it. So we'll give one last round of questions. If anybody has a question, I'll stick around and ask that while I do my quick little commercials. Part of the cost of being here, you have to hear me try to sell my stuff to help keep supporting the channel. First Time Boat Buyers Academy. If you are looking to buy a boat, it's going to walk you through step by step. There's over 300 videos on the channel. A lot of the information is there, but I put it together in a way that's just super easy to follow, takes you step by step. And the one thing you won't find on the channel is the magic money saving method, the negotiation technique that saved other people. It seems to be $2,500, keeps coming over and over and over. But it's just a very simple, easy way to negotiate with a dealer or a private seller. And then there's 6 additional techniques to save if you're buying from a dealer, because of their business model. And because I know that model, because I was a salesperson, I know what they do and don't like to give away. I give you some specifics there. Everything comes with the Captain Matt's personal happy boater money back guarantee. For any reason you're not happy, even if somebody said I wanted it on DVD and it was online, here's your money back. No, this is just the way I do it. And then the best boat captain on the water, best pontoon captain, trailer like a pro, tow water sports with confidence. These are all programs for newer boaters. Even if you've been boating for a couple of years and you don't feel like you have total control of your boat, the best boat captain on the water will fix it. It just will. It's enough people have gone through it now. Several of them on the line here. Ray, I know you're going to have an outstanding experience with it, and it's going to make a big difference. And then the free stuff, the Boat Buyers Toolkit, anybody can download it for free. The Boaters Boot Camp is out there. You can get it, you can get access to it, but there's some stuff in the back end that still needs to be tracking and whatnot. But you don't care about that. Just go get the information. It's great. I'm really happy with how that turned out. So first time here. Thank you, John. I'm glad. We're here every Sunday for right now at 8:30. In the summertime, I got to figure out if I'm going to keep it on Sunday or if I'm going to move it back to Tuesday when I'm not going to be out on the water, because a lot of times we're still at the lake on Mondays or Sundays. Test drove the Barletta, does not have power assist, higher speeds. Wow. Russell, I can't believe they don't have power assist on a 200. You have to have at least the hydraulic, but the power assist, man, I anything 150, okay, hydraulic, but anything 200 and over, I would definitely put that power assist on there. I'm shocked that the dealer didn't do that. Yeah, that would be. I would talk to them about, hey, can we swap that out? Russell, I don't remember if you ordered your boat, if you ordered that Barletta, or if it is a stock boat. If it's a stock boat, I'm shocked that the dealer didn't put power assist on there. But yeah, you're turning a lot of RPMs, and when you're turning against that prop force, it's better. Hydraulic is better than nothing. But it's still, you're turning against a lot of torque. So talk to the dealer. I think you'll be happier in the long run if you can work out to get the power assist. Not just the hydraulic. So you've got cable steering, which is just your effort is pulling the cable, turning the motor. Okay. Then you got hydraulic steering, which is like a C-Star system, where there's fluid in there that's helping you turn to make it easier. And then there's power assist steering, which is like your car, where there's a pump that's pumping that fluid. You turn, and now you're turning it like you're driving a Mercedes and it's just, whatever way you go, it's easy. There's no difference turning port or starboard. So those are the three. It has to have hydraulic steering on it. They don't deliver 150s and over without it. But the power assist, I think when you get over 150, I think it's going to be money well spent for most people. Simpin fishing. Yeah, I don't have any problem buying a boat off Facebook Marketplace. Now, I'm going to do the toolkit. I'm going to go through the inspection process. It's just like buying from any private seller. If I'm buying from Craigslist or something like that, I am going to, here's a video that you need to watch. How to buy a used boat off Craigslist. So, Simpin Fishing, go check out that video. Hey, when you're on a platform like that, that's not Boat Trader or boats.com or center consoles only or inboards only, where people have to pay for their listing. If it's free, now I've got to be aware that there's scammers, and there's certainly boats on Facebook Marketplace that don't exist, boats on Facebook Marketplace that are just total pieces of junk. And so you just have to be smart about the specific boat that you buy. So in this Craigslist video, I talk about, hey, here's a telltale sign that it's a scammer. Their email comes back and there's all sorts of grammatical and spelling and just weird, odd language. Now, this is coming from a guy that can't spell and has terrible grammar. Matter of fact, somebody sent me an email the other day when I asked for comments on the programs. They said, listen, your stuff is awesome, but dude, you have got to run spell check before you send stuff out. And absolutely right. So, but you're looking for the Prince of Nigeria type emails, and send me money before you can inspect it. I'll hold it for you. Use Venmo or PayPal, and then we can start talking. Just be aware of those type of things, because they're more common on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, any of those Kijiji up in Canada, any of those free listing sites. Not as common when you're on Boat Trader, where you're paying, it's either a dealer or they're paying 50, 60, 70 bucks to post their listing. Well, scams don't work as well in that situation, but I don't have any problem with Facebook Marketplace at all. At all. It's a stock boat. I would talk to them. $6K to add the power assist. That sounds way expensive. That sounds way expensive. Hey, Russell, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email with your dealer and where you're located, and let me do some checking for you, because it seems to me there's going to be a solution that's way cheaper than 6,000 on that. So, Anthony, right now I don't. On Facebook I can. So all I need to do, I can start selling it in the next 20 minutes if I have an image. So all I've got to do is get that image and then put it up there, and you can buy it on Facebook. I can put it on anything, shirts, hats. This hat I had made at the mall. It was like a $50 hat to get this stitched on there, but I wanted it, and I didn't want to order a whole bunch of them. So I tried it with this. So that may be coming. It may be coming. It's why I'm thinking about, okay, the name, the logo. Would it be, does anybody enjoy this enough to put it on a shirt? Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon. It didn't seem like anybody would want to put that on a shirt, so I didn't even offer it. Boater's Secret Weapon with a cool image and some other stuff, maybe. So if anybody knows a graphic designer that has experience or would like to try to do it, and would want to submit a couple of ideas, be happy to talk to them. Just tell them to send an email, or send me an email, captain@Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon, and that maybe we can make a connection there. We made other connections on this live. So Oh, that's a good, um, okay. So you just have the hydraulic. You don't have the power assist on your 300. Yeah. So maybe it's just a matter of making some adjustments to it. That's a really good point. That's a really good point, Brock. Um, okay. Yeah. There's um, a few things that can have that impact. But Yeah. So I would send me that email, Russell. Send me that email, and I don't know if you have a deposit on that boat or not, but maybe there's something we can do. And I almost at the Greensboro Boat Show, I talked to the rep there, and I'm hoping to. I talked to the rep at Starcraft, Sylvan, Smokercraft, that group of brands and about doing a factory tour. And the Barletta was one of them. And the rep was going to pick up the CEO or president, I don't remember, Bill Fennick, and was sent an email. So hopefully I'm going to make that contact and do a tour of Barletta and or Starcraft, Sylvan, Smokercraft, those. So yeah, that's what the power assist around 2,300. That sounds more like a number that is right. 6 grand seems way off, but anyway, shoot me an email and put it on some decals. There you go. Would you guys like seriously? Does it's easy for me to do? I mean, like I said, I could have this image on a decal tomorrow. I think they offered. I could put it on shirts, hats, sweatshirts, all that kind of stuff. If you guys would be interested, I don't know. It would be cool if I ever saw a boat buyer or a boater's secret weapon shirt running around. That would make my day. But anyway, thought about my Rangers power steering, super nice. So all right, there we go. I just rambled on for another 15 minutes. Thank you guys very much. Hux, thank you for the contribution. Very much appreciated. John, Brock, thank you guys. Robert, thank you guys for contributing and sharing in your expertise and your knowledge. I would certainly appreciate it. Okay. All right. So maybe this is going to be something I do. Um, maybe this is something that I'm gonna do. Um, yes, also good point, John, about the brand of the steering. I know they've got. I saw at the boat shows. I've been noticing a trend towards Mercury and Suzuki, with Yamaha having some supply chain issues and tougher time getting motors in. Suzuki being small and trying to small market share wise and trying to pick up market share. I don't think they have that quite that hey, we're producing more motors and we're trying to gain market share. So they had that capacity and are getting them into the States. And then Mercury obviously being made here. But I've noticed that trend as well. I think all of the Barlettas that I saw had Mercuries on them. And I know they offer the Yamahas as well. So all right. Thank you guys very much. I'm heading to Knoxville on Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday. I'll be back from my cheer thing with my daughter on Sunday to do an 8:30 live with you. So we'll see you then. And thank you guys all. I appreciate you for joining me, for participating, for being just a fun group of folks to do this with every Sunday. And hope you guys have a great night.